Welcome to the Happy Humanoids Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to our show, The Happy Humanoids Perspective, A Questionable Reality, episode number 12.
Tonight, I'm Edith Paul. I'm an access facilitator and an access consciousness facilitator, a certified facilitator of access consciousness. Yay, I said it.
It took almost as long for you to say it as you did to get it.
And you are?
Hey, I'm Miles. I'm also an access consciousness facilitator, and I'm joined here with my wife, Edith. Woohoo!
Thank you for being with us tonight. Hey,
Thanks
we're
so much.
live.
Oh, yeah.
This is our first.
Oh, yeah, we're live.
This is our first time that we are live. Before we made the podcast, I guess
Pre-recorded.
Yeah. And we asked
Mhm.
question about, okay, what would create the most for the podcast, and we received the awareness. How about doing it live? And when we asked the question about that, what were our life been 5 years if we choose to be live, the joy and the expansion and the excitement that were there.
Mhm.
So we chose to follow that energy, and here we are tonight. So thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yeah, we encourage you guys to be alive too. It's so much more exciting being alive.
Yes, so the tonight we're going to talk about the neediness, overcoming the limitation. Are you needy in some part of your life? And when we say neediness, can you explain, Miles, what is neediness?
Yeah, well, Gary says basically his description of neediness is to be needy is to hold onto what you've got for fear that you're never going to have more. It's the idea that there's nothing more than what you have. And I think that neediness is like a close relative of greediness, like coming from the need or the holding on to and not being able to receive more. It's and also it's the idea that you will never receive, and you also create separation from others. So like here, there's a barrier.
Yeah, and this is where the lie is.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some kind of trick inside this. Like you believe that there will be never, and you're asking and asking and asking. And when we are in that space, do we receive? Do we really receive whatever is there? So the lie, everywhere you believe that everywhere you bought the lie that there won't be enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it attractive, someone who is needy?
Oh yeah, I think it's so attractive. I think that was what we had. That magic that we had together was like the neediness that we had. There's this quality that like when you find something that you like, there's this like you want to hold on to it, you know. It's like and then I definitely went through that with you. You know, it's like I had this experience of like not wanting to lose you and you know, want to hold on and like it's last forever. And with that, it didn't create much for us as our relationship. So that was I got firsthand awareness of what that creates for us, you know, in a relationship. It just blocks, it just stops, it defines, and it really just crushes creation. It crushes the creativity of something more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it shows up in the weirdest places. Any kind of relationships that we have, if it's mother and daughter, or if it's mother and son, or if it's husband and wife, or if it's business partners, or you know, your children, or it just shows up everywhere. There's a relationship. There can be neediness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. One of the things that you can do if you are stuck, because when we are needy, we are in, first, this is an energy only.
Yeah.
And with that energy, there are often these thoughts, there are feelings, there are emotion in this. The first thing to do is about recognize, okay, this is where I am. This is where I am. I am needy. It's important to realize, okay, is it really true? Okay, I recognize that this is this and the energy that I am in. The good thing is in energy, which means that energy can be transformed.
Yep.
So there are many tools that you can use here when you see yourself in that energy of neediness. And it can be interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And you say this until the charge, the electrical charge, the energetic charge that is there is removed. So it's a way that you can use to take you away from that energy of neediness. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not always easy to recognize when we're being needy. You know, it's like there's so many different sort of conflicting ideas about love and togetherness, and like there's this sort of inbred in a relationship about being needy. Like that's sort of supposed to be like healthy in the romantic world of like, oh, I can't live without you. That's such a needy perspective. You know, it's just like it's not giving the other person space. It's really just crowding them into it. So it's like, where are we being needy with ourselves about maybe even being attached to having something show up in our life a certain way? I think that's a form of being needy, like having a very restricted way of looking at something or how it's going to show up or what it must look like. It's like holding on to an idea that we have that if it doesn't show, it's just like holding on to it in a way that it doesn't allow the universe, the creative force to give to us.
Yeah, it repels it.
Yeah, so everywhere that we have hidden, unseen ideas of neediness, and we're linked to the outcome of that, and we're just very invested in the outcome, destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, all nine shorts, bows and beyonds. Before the show, I asked myself a question, and what came up was, if I need it, I will allow myself to have it. So everywhere you put yourself in that space to need something in order for you to have it, will you now uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah.
Yeah, Gina says, I agree, neediness isn't attractive, and don't men like to be needed? What's the balance? Do men like to be needed, or do they like to be desired?
I think probably desired, like needy, like men, I would say furthest from the world want to be like, well, maybe the word needed is something that is kind of plays tricks on us, like being like feeling of value. That's for me, that's like if what I'm doing is of value, that's something that I appreciate, that I am grateful for, that when Edith finds value in what I do, or is I see that I can help her in some way, then that's a way of being helpful, I guess. Being like, if she were being needy, then it's something that it's different, because it's like it's like it doesn't allow for me to choose. Like if someone, I think the definition of neediness is it doesn't really allow me to choose. Like someone's point of view or someone's conclusion is they want it this way, or they are trying to get something from me, or something like that. And maybe what Gina's talking about is more about being a contribution. It's like I love being a contribution to Edith, and at the same time, I've been in relationships in the past where it was nothing but needy, and oh my God, did I hate that. I was like, where could I run fast to get away from this this person. And,
Yeah. Yeah. And what do we do with people who are needy around us?
we sit on them, right? We sit on them.
We sit on that.
Yeah. That's what I do. I try to sit on them. If I get an opportunity and I see them and they're needy, I sit right down, just like flop down. So usually works pretty well for the most part. Unless there's more than two, and then they think it's some kind of like a party, and then it gets kind of out of hand. So yeah, what do we do with needy people?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is allowance. Allow them to be needy. This is what they chose to be. And this is something they learn in a relationship. If I am needy of someone, it means that the other person means something to me. So everywhere you became needy of the other person for you in order to validate that you are with the right person, or you are you have to be in a relationship where you now want to create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Right.
Yes, Natalie says, I have been needy. I've been being needy in my relationship. What are some questions I can ask when I am being needy in my relationship? You mean, what are the questions you can ask? Well, as I said, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Does it belong to me? Hey, because needy is an energy. So did you take it from someone? Who does it belong to? Is it mine, or is it someone else, or does it belong to something else too? That could be that. What's the benefit for me to be needy? That could be another question. What do I win while being needy? Do you have any other question, Miles, you want to have?
Well, it might be something about, like I think you touched on already, was what, I've got a feedback, so maybe it'll go away. Has she defined the relationship equaling being needy? Is there something about the way she learned about neediness, or a relationship that included being needy, and that was equals to having a good relationship, or the right relationship, or being there for your man or your partner or whatever, maybe something like that. And or what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to acknowledge where you're playing the needy card and choose to play needlessly? So needlessly is something that is really the opposite of needy. It's choosing to not need something, to not, you can desire something, but it's not as though that has to show up. You can have a desire for something, but it doesn't restrict it happening or not happening. It's like it doesn't really change your perspective, or my perspective, or outcome, or outlook. Do you have more ideas about
Yes, well, I was thinking more about needy, and it was more I put myself in the space of someone that is needy, or maybe that was me before, maybe it's me again, I don't know. Well, anyway, I perceive something when someone is needy, is it because you desire for the other to show you how he loves you? If I am needy of the other person, he'll show me how he loves me. Those are lies. Those are lies. So everywhere you bought the lies that neediness will bring you whatever you desire in an easy way, well, you now want to create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
What is it that you receive, that you hope to receive when you are needy? What is it that you desire to receive when you are needy? And what is it that you receive in the past when you were in this needy energy? So everything that is, will you uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, I would add also that maybe being needy works for her at that moment. You know, it's not to say that you can't use neediness to get what you desire. It's just being needy so much that you are controlled by it. Like if your mode of operation is neediness, then maybe you want to choose something else that gives you greater possibility. But if you have the possibility of being needy one day or being needless the next day or whatever works for you to get what you desire, then choose that. You know, if it doesn't own you, then you have at your disposal all the different tools. And neediness can be as great as a manipulation tool as any of them.
Yeah.
In the right way.
When we had a discussion before the show, and what came up for me was when a parent is needy with their children, or even in a relationship, loving relationship, or with whatever, we handicap the other person. We don't allow them the space for them to grow. We don't allow them the space for them to choose for themselves. It's like we give them an agenda, and we give them a task. We give them something. And when we are needy, we don't believe that we are the source of our happiness. We don't believe that we are the source of our joy. We don't believe we are the source of everything we desire in our lives. So everywhere you believe that you were not the source of everything you desire in your life, and it has to come from someone outside of you, well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, which goes against every Disney film, every love story that ever has been produced. So there's a whole lot of history there that we get to choose something else. So those are all about neediness, about being needy, and you're the only one for me, and all of that.
The more I need you, the more I love you. So everything that is, will you create? Is it true? Is it really true?
No.
That the more I need you, the more I love you.
Well, you can need me if you're a massage. That would be great. You know, the more you need me, or if you're making bread, that would be great too.
So everything that is, will you create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Is it time for a commercial?
I was about asking the same question.
Okay. Let's have a word from our silly and absurd sponsor.
Sure, we've all been there. You are at an important function and your deodorant fails. Your body odor begins to permeate the room. How embarrassing is that? Stress no more, my friends. Hands down, underarm caulk safely seals the tissue of your armpit. Simply apply a bead of underarm caulk to the instructed area and enjoy your evening with confidence. Hands down, underarm caulk off gases in 3 fresh scents: strawberry, celebrity, or rock star. Some arm restriction is expected with application of hands down underarm caulk. Look for it at your favorite building supply.
Thank you for our sponsors of this show today. We've got some great sponsors.
I listen to this, I don't know how many times, and each time it makes me laugh.
Makes you crazier.
Yeah. Another question you can ask yourself when you are in that space of neediness: what do I lose if I choose to not be needy right now? So, and a lot of probably awareness will come from that. So everything that is, will you uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond.
Yeah. So everywhere you believe in the lie of neediness. Yeah, you believe that you are this. Will you now uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Why is it a lie? Well, you are an infinite being. Is an infinite being needy? No. This is something that belongs to this reality. You, as you said, you can choose it without becoming it. It's different here. You can choose it to manipulate people to get whatever you desire from people. without becoming it. You know who you are, and you choose this because you perceive that this is the way for you to receive whatever you desire.
Yeah, it's like it's not, you're not sort of absorbed, surrounded by it. It's just like it's a tool that you can use. That's possibility of change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to acknowledge where you are playing the needy card and choose to play needlessly?
Yeah.
And everything that doesn't allow that will you uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere you have been raised on the taste of neediness, and because it was icky, heavy, sour, and hard to swallow, you have concluded it must be necessary and good for you. Will you destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion?
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. Everywhere you believe that by being needy is the only way for you to receive whatever you desire. Well, you now uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah. And what comes up is still the lies, all the lies that you believe in. Okay, when I am needy, I really need something. And when I am needy, you better give it to me because I am needy. I remember I was like this. I don't need so much in life. But when I need this, I need it. So everything that is, you recognize something in this, Miles, with me? Yeah. Everything that is. Will you uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, the thing is, neediness comes up a lot. It's not as though we clear it once and it's gone. They're like embedded and hidden in so many different places. Like neediness just shows up, and every time that it shows up, we can become more aware of it, and then just clear it. Just like everywhere that I'm being needy or interesting point of view, that I have this point of view that I'm needy, and then just clear that until you don't have a point of view about it. Or allow yourself to be needy until it doesn't serve you anymore. It's just whatever way you can do to clear it, and don't make yourself wrong about it, because we're all needy in some way, and some different ways where it's all there. So yeah, so just keep plugging away.
Yeah, it's about becoming aware of it first. I was reading something today in something other than Access, and the guy was saying the first thing that is hard for people to recognize is to recognize that they are needy. Right?
Yeah.
So everywhere you're afraid that if you recognize that you are needy, you won't be able to come out of it, because this is what you saw in people, that they were needy, and you saw the stuckness that they were in, and you concluded that if you are in this, you will never come out of that. And everywhere you concluded that you will never come out of something, well, you now uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Can you talk more about being needlessly? Needlessly is, I think you talk about it, eh?
Yeah, we can talk more about it. It's just about not having it's just really not needing. It's almost like being fiercely independent, I guess, is a way, but it's just like you're not need, how can I best describe this? You don't have a need. There's no need for Edith to do a certain thing for me. It's like, it's nice if she does a certain thing, but it's like I'm not needy that she treats me a certain way, or that she makes dinner for me a certain way, or something like that. It's just having really no point of view, I think, is really what needlessness is. It's just not having a point of view about needing something. It's like You had more thought on that?
Yeah, well, for me, needlessness is to desire something without having the need of it, and without having the need that it has to happen, that it has to be created, not to be created, but you don't have any point of view about you have it or not. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about being in that space of being present with yourself, and from that space you don't need anything. And it's not about cutting yourself off of everything around you. It's just a space of being. Yeah. It's about a space of being where you feel so good with yourself that whatever happens. So you don't have any need. Yeah.
I was trying to find something that Gary said about needlessness. He says, if you're unwilling to be needless, then you spend your life being needy and assuming that what you don't have is more valuable than what you do have. Needy is about there is not going to be more. So he says, like, do you do trauma and drama to prove that you're more needy than other person, or that they are not as needy, sort of as a way to compensate for their neediness? You know, do you ever sort of overreact so the person's reaction isn't near as severe?
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when we are needless, we are in a space to attract everything.
Yeah.
There's no we don't repel anything.
Yeah, there's no push.
Yeah.
Neediness has a push to it. It's like there's this kind of like a push or a pull. You know, it's just like there's this really icky kind of energy that where there's you're really involved in like the person. There's not a space. It's like this sort of the grabby, but you know, this energy. But I guess it's a push and a pull. I'm not sure how I want to describe that. But neediness is just, it's a clinginess to it. And there's also like a barrier that we're not able to receive anymore. So there's like a push that this is the way that I receive. This is the way it is for me. This is my definition of how I receive or don't receive. This is the way in which I receive, which is a very limited perspective. It doesn't open up to a greater possibility of something giving to me or someone giving to me. If I have a neediness in how I receive, then it restricts all the different possibilities in which I could receive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when we are in this space of needlessness, there's a big power for us.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the power of needlessness. It's about the ability to not need anything or anyone. When you have no need of anyone or anything, then you have ultimate power. Yeah. And when you are needless, it is irrelevant what somebody does. Mm-hmm. So yeah, because every need creates a fixed point of view. And when you are stuck in a fixed point of view, well, can you receive? When it's fixed, the energy is fixed. Can you, receiving is about an energy flow. But if you have a fixed point of view about something, can you receive something?
Not so much.
Not so much. No. So, hey, it's already time. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Hey, thank you everyone for being with us. And next week, same time, well, for the next 10 seconds, because we live in the 10-second increment, it will be at 8 o'clock, Wednesday, not Wednesday, but Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Mm-hmm. And if you have some question, if for those who will listen to this or you will watch it on YouTube, you can download it from iTunes as well, because it will be, we have podcasts on iTunes, the 11 podcasts before that we did before are on iTunes. Happy Humanoid Perspective,
Mhm.
Questionable Reality. So you can go and download them from iTunes as well. But if you have questions for the next show will be the sweetness of joy that money cannot resist.
Mhm.
So if you cannot be live with us, you have questions, you can send them to happyhumanoids@gmail.com, and we will be more than happy to answer your question.
You can also go to our website, happyhumanoids.com, and there's a podcast page which will have this podcast as well as the previous podcast on that page.
Yeah.
And also you can get the free 50 download, free 50 questions for liberation and creation. That the topic of that one is money, magic, and relationships.
Yeah.
So check us out next time. And also, if you're not familiar with the clearing statement, you can go to our website, frequently asked questions, and look out the clearing statement. And there's a video from Dr. Dane. Or you can go to theclearingstatement.com and you'll find the same video with some other information.
Yeah, and the clearing statement is the weird sentence that we said: right and wrong, good and bad, part and buck, all nine shorts, fours and beyonds.
Yep, that's the one.
So thank you, everyone, and hope to meet you next week.
Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.